Yeah,
Right. You're gonna have to hit us on the smut scenes because I don't
you
recall
remember.
much of
It's all
them.
good.
Yeah.
Shay, my new screen lock. Do you see that? A
Makes me think of lights out, you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly after we read that. Oh my goodness. Okay. You're good to go.
I got a bunch of like horror stickers,
Yeah.
and there's like 200, and some of them are hysterical, and they have like sexy masked men or like Jason all like naked, and like I'm like, oh.
Oh, I love it.
So I saved some for you, of course, and I got
Yay.
auxiliary bitch too, and
Yay.
Bluey.
In Bluey. I love it. Like horror, sexy men in Bluey.
And I know, like, it's
Mom
fine.
life.
All
Oh
right.
my goodness. Hello. We're back.
Hello.
New format. Because
New
we couldn't
format.
thrive.
Only because life is a little crazy right now,
Very
but
true. Kids are
that's
sick.
okay.
No gerbies. You're gonna hear the kid. Yes. Okay. Well, I can't do this right now, hon.
No germs, and I get married in a week, and I'm not trying to like get sick.
Yep.
There's a lot
Yep.
going on.
Exactly. Yeah. I need to wake Taryn up to take care of him right now because I'm gonna be going back and forth again. And I'm just like, oh my
Gosh,
God.
sir.
But we're all, yeah, want to play it safe since you are getting married next week. So exciting. But we don't need no germs. We don't need any of that nastiness. Okay, do you
No,
want this or not? Thank you.
I
So
love that it looks the nails. Just I love it.
gorgeous.
They're
Yeah,
gorgeous.
I did my nails basic, because
Love.
I'm doing right his nails. I'm doing my, nails for the wedding, but I was like, my nails kind of need a break for my extensions right now. But we're back. So I'm Chris.
I'm Kara,
And we're
and
at
we're the
midnight. Bang! Whoop whoop.
we on different vibes over here. I was jamming to
Honestly.
Chappelle this morning in the
Oh,
car, and now I'm like in a great mood because who's in a bad mood listening to Chappelle? Hot to
yeah.
get. Like no one. I
You keep saying Chappelle. It's Chapel. Chapel Road.
It's the double, isn't there two L's?
Yes, there's two P's,
That's
but it's
what fucks me
Chapel.
up. Chapel. And because when I think of chapel, I think of like
A
a
chapel.
chapel, a church, a
Yeah.
house church.
Chapel Road. Yeah, it's
Okay.
always, I
I'm
love it.
just gonna remember she's godlike. It's
Yes.
chapel. Okay, I got this. I got this.
Oh my goodness. But we are back with madness.
Madness by Shantel Tessier. Um,
Yes.
if we're not saying her name right, somebody let us know, but we're pretty sure it's Tessier. I'm pretty sure the R is silent.
Yeah.
But
I thought we looked that up and it was, but who knows?
somebody let us know if we're not saying
We're
it right.
okay. For
We pronounced anathema, anathema for
the
like
longest time
years.
until Nick was like, it's actually unethical. We're like, oh, well, thank you for letting us know
Like,
now.
um, that's embarrassing. So,
Yeah.
but this was a great book. Follow up from the Lord series,
Yeah.
and then from Carnage, and then to Madness. So I really like this book.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
We both reread Love
Yay.
Them
Okay. Go, please.
Carnage right before because we read it right when it came out
Oh,
last.
yeah. It dropped
So
at midnight and I was like, give
yeah, so
me.
we reread it right before Madness, and part of me wishes I didn't like reread it because
Oh,
she did such a good job at like reminding us
yeah.
what happened in Carnage in Madness, like with the time jumps.
Hmm.
Like she kept kind of like taking us back, although it was a
That's true.
different
Different
POV.
type of time jump.
Yeah, but it still was like a really nice refresher. But it was also good that we read it right away because there were things that I was linking together that I may have like missed if we didn't reread Carnage.
Yeah.
So, and there was a lot of links to be made per Chantel's usual form.
Yeah, I will say like it was a little difficult to read compared to the others because it is a continuation from Carnage,
Yes.
what was going on, but there's a lot of not like a lot of time jumps, but like it felt like there's just a lot going on all
A
at once.
lot happening, and I again I part of me actually is like it's not even the time jumps, and that's why like I was like I don't think that we even needed to, sorry, I gotta set a timer. Even needed to like reread it because she does such a
Don't
good job. However, there's so much happening.
happening. And can I
And
just
then
say, Charlotte, not my favorite. I know people are hating on Ashton, and I was like, okay, Ashton was annoying, and like in this book, hella annoying. Like she was pissing me off to
yes,
no
she
end.
was really, she sounded needy, but like you also have to understand what she went through.
Yeah,
Like,
like coming right off of that, and then all of that nonsense, and then now, but with Charlotte, but I feel like with Charlotte, a lot of it after a certain point, a lot of it could have just been handled if they would have just communicated,
spoken.
like
I think that was
straight
like
up.
my biggest pet peeve because like
Once
Hayden,
he found out who she really was, she should have just came clean and be like, "This is what I'm doing." Oh, you're
yeah,
cutting my hair. Thing.
it was
No.
this like I'm keeping a secret and I'm keeping a secret. Like I feel like they're both to blame.
Yeah.
However, Hayden made it really clear that he was aware of most of her secrets, except for some of the bombs they dropped there at the end that everybody
Yeah.
was like, I'm sorry, what?
Okay. Back.
Okay, so it also
Yes.
like really threw me off, like talking about Charlotte. Are we gonna refer to her as Charlotte or Annabelle? I think
Oh my
Charlotte
god. I think it's Charlotte because
because
she ends up being Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah. Especially at the very
No.
end, you know,
Yeah.
she
And it's
actually
only Annabelle when she was like in trouble.
yeah, and that almost confused me a bit too. Even though like Chantel clearly told us what was going
Mhm.
on, I was still like, Annabelle, oh, like Charlotte is back being herself. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I did find it like frustrating just the way like again, like I always say, she like doesn't leave a thread hanging unless she left a lot hanging again. And at
Yeah.
this point, I'm like, just tell us what is going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, tell me. I need to know. I,
Well, now it's like really wrapping in with Adam.
yeah. So, like,
So I'm like, is the next book going to be Adam and to
Adam,
continue like what this is happening? So I was like,
I'd be okay with that.
yeah, because then at least we'll get some closure. But at the same time, is that then going to wrap in with Cashton?
Yes. I could see it being either. I really,
Honestly,
I could see them going either way. I really like fell in love with Adam, the series
yeah,
or
because like
this
he was
book.
this book because he was really pulling through.
Yeah, and last book he was like just gone and like the way they spoke about him was like not in the best. So to
No, but then him really pulling up with Hayden and being like, no, you don't touch her. This is what happening. Like, and then fully stepping up. I was like, okay, there's a
I
lot more
thought
at
it was
play.
yeah, I thought it was sweet and like learning more about Adam, I'm like there is a lot going on with him
Hmm.
that is she gonna do a whole different like series on that? Like
Yeah,
like the Dark Kings, right? She
yeah,
did their series, but they are so weaved in. Like they were a little weaved in to the Lord's books, but like they're really in the Spade brothers.
yeah.
And so I'm wondering if Adam is doing something with the Kings. If like they were helping him hide out or
Yeah, because with her newsletter saying like who's next, she's saying lords, spades,
King,
kings. And I'm
King.
like, okay, so it's really coming together. And then that person who is Jay, and I'm like, please let it be Jasmine. Because Jasmine and Cashton had a thing.
See, and I'd be fine with that too because
Yeah.
I fell in love with Jasmine in the
Oh my
King's
god, same.
book. And then like every book she makes an appearance in, I'm like, she needs to stick around.
Yes.
And then she doesn't. I'm like, damn it, Chantel, why you do us like
I
that?
bet it's because she's like gearing up for this next one.
But like I will say, I hope she doesn't make us wait long, considering
Yeah.
that like she announced that a week the new book a week after Madness launched.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's like in the in the fucking pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like she's in the pocket right now. I'm gonna keep reading, you know?
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'm in deep with her because we read like the Lord series, and I think when we were waiting for Carnage is when we went back and read the Kings.
Kings. Yep.
And then I was really glad that we did
Yeah.
because otherwise
She's
we would
so
know what's going on, but you don't have this like insight
backstory.
of like, oh, well, they're from like this, they've got like the airport. You're dealing with those people. What are they called? The people at the air, the Mason.
The Mason brothers.
Yeah, so you've got like so the Kings in Vegas, you've got the Mason brothers, they run that rundown airport in Vegas. So and like the way she weaves it is really well done. So if you guys haven't read those,
Oh
go
yeah.
read them, or you can like go back and listen to those because we reviewed those with
Yep.
spoilers. Like, and
Yeah.
this will be semi-spoiler free because it's still a newer book.
It is still a
Um,
newer book, but I feel like also at the same time, okay, I think the only thing
People
that we
know
couldn't spoil, of course, is the ending just because of how she
she
wraps
left it.
things and how she left it. It's going to lead to so much more, and it can ruin things for the Lord's books
It
because they
totally,
all wrap together.
yeah. So like, yes, we can say like Sin and like Riot like make an appearance and like,
Oh, yeah. Okay,
but like that the
speaking of
end.
though, Sin and Cashton's relationship, I want a book of just them doing stuff. Like,
Yeah, like I would be cool with a book just about the dudes. Like
yeah,
no girl, like just what
no
they're doing
girls.
on the side, like working together. Like I could literally have just a book about that. Like yeah, they could be like texting their girls, but
Oh,
like
sure.
I just want to know about like their inner relationships
Yeah.
because they've all grown so much through their books and like obviously become close in their own ways.
Yeah.
So like I would be cool with that too. Like
Mhm.
very cool with that. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm over here drawing a web, although it's probably backwards, or is it?
I don't know yet. We'll find out after this is done recording. Because
Damn
I don't
it.
know if it
Okay.
inverts. Yeah. This is our first time, like, obviously doing a Zoom type of recording. So, not sure how all it actually turns out. We'll see.
Okay, well, I'm over here like making a little charty chart.
Mhm.
Oh, I can't wash this off. Cool. Okay.
Awesome.
Because I literally had to make a PDF to like
Yeah.
follow along with the characters. So like just the Spade Bros. Got Saint Ashton from
Mhm.
Carnage. Ignore my wipey I couldn't get off. You got Cashton down here. We don't know what's up with him yet.
Nope.
Really, like he's still kind of a mystery. We know he's
Mhm.
caring and sweet, but like we don't know like
Well, like all throughout this book too, him and Hayden, like he's just so pissed off at Hayden because Hayden's not really talking to them. He's staying at his house,
his
which he
house,
technically bought with for Adam because when Adam was on the run,
which
like
that
no
house, by the
spoiler
way,
there. Yo,
baller description.
yes,
Like I would live there.
oh, big time out in the
This is a
woods,
South
like
Town. Yes.
oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. So yeah, like he was very much like pissed because like Hayden's kind of gone, right? And like
Yeah,
we know that even from Carnage, Ashton was upset that Hayden was leaving, right?
yeah.
But at the end of Carnage, he's kind of like, see you when I
He's
see
like,
you.
bye, I'm figuring shit out, and like, this is literally leading right off of that because
Yeah,
it's like
so like
it's only like a few months later it comes back, but he's already done so much with
much.
Adam.
Yes, and then so she's kind of like filling you in on that too, but like not completely. You're like, what
Yeah,
the fuck are they doing?
yeah.
Okay, so then you got Adam over here.
But
We don't know what's up with Adam. We know a bit. We know that he's been like basically hiding and trying to like keep his family safe by
yeah,
being away. But like,
we
come
don't
on,
know why until like the very end of
the
like the
very
epilogue.
end,
Yeah,
which that's not, we're not going to spoil that
yeah,
because my jaw hit the freaking floor. It was
yep.
like the last two chapters and then the
Oh,
epilogues. I was like, how you fixing to leave me like that?
yes,
Like when they were in the
yes.
plane, I was like, I'm
There's
sorry,
also
what?
like I think about where I'm like, I wish that I did not read any of them until she's finished because I just want to
Same.
read them back to back to
I
back.
just want to sit down and like get through them all,
Yeah.
like you would
Like
with
I
like
don't want to
Crescent
wait.
City and Throne of Glass. You just want to like sit down and like brrr through
Yep.
them. And the way she lays them out, I know she's leaving us on cliffhangers, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm like, but we did go back and read Dark, the Dark Kings, and
Hmm.
that was a little filler, but
Yeah.
and then up here, Hayden and Charlotte, aka Annabelle.
Yep.
And
That
that's like
confused me so
that's
much.
not even that wasn't even like the least confusing.
That's very
What
true.
rocked my world was like we still don't know like who Hayden's dad is.
Yeah.
Like we know Saint's dad. Well, no, we don't even actually know Saint's dad's name. Like we don't know their dad's names really. Or
No, because
maybe
I don't remember them being put like just said it was like just my dad or the
yeah,
father or
like
like their
Hayden,
last
yeah, like
name,
our dads. Yeah.
but like not
So
the name.
yeah, so when they talk about like my dad, I'm like, well, like, huh? So like I would kind of like to have a name, but also maybe just keep it the dad so like we're not
Yeah.
confused even further. So then like I do want to touch on the bitch because
that that threw me.
I was
Not gonna
like,
lie. What? Yeah.
and I was starting to like question if like she was somebody else, right? That was
Yeah.
like, I was starting to like wonder because I was like, what woman
Alien.
would be able to take over Carnage? Like, you've
Yeah.
got some pretty big power for that. And off the bat in Madness, they're already talking about how, because Annabelle is going to be like a female lord essentially, and that like some women do
And
have power. And I was
but
like,
like
well, hold up.
that threw me too.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, because it's all about the men having power. So I was like, when did this come about? Is there
Yeah.
more? I'm assuming she's gonna take us there, right?
Hmm.
So,
But yeah,
but
because
I,
at the ending it really opened it up more. Don't you dare.
yeah, and
So
I guess we can talk about that too a
yeah.
little bit, but there is like,
Alien.
is it a bloodline? Not
Yeah, they're
necessarily.
saying something about a bloodline, but I like it was kind of confusing, not gonna lie.
It seems to be like the
So
like ancestors of the starting of the lords
yeah.
almost is like the best way I could like explain
Like the
it.
founding fathers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what,
yeah.
yeah, so like they're saying that some of the founding fathers were women, and I was like, why y'all set this up then?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, well, the women are
You
like,
six
do what makes you
ladies?
think about this. And I was like,
Yeah.
what?
So that made me wonder, okay, well, is the bitch a founding father or like up there high? Because who else would have the power to come in and literally torture those poor dudes?
Well,
Like,
no, and I think you're right because she had seen it's hard. I can't really say too much because that's gonna spoil like really ruin the end of the book. But it's one of those where it's so hard to say. Truly.
because she's very much like tied into who Annabelle is. Is
Yes.
that what you're getting at?
Yes. And we
I,
know that like what happens at the end and what kind of leads up.
yeah, so we can say that like the bitch is Annabelle's mom.
No, no, no. Aunt.
Aunt. Okay, that's right. Because
It's mom's sister.
sister. Because you got,
That's not
she's
giving away too much.
Leanne, aka Anne, is
And
Annabelle's mom. And then her sister is Isabella
yeah.
Costello, which is wild
Yeah.
in itself because
Yeah.
you like, there's scenes of like Charlotte, aka Annabelle, and her mom and her friend Bella like talking about what she's doing. And then I'm like, huh? And I'm
Yeah.
like, so wait, what? Hold up, Chantel. You got us lost, but you wrote me back in. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is going on? Because she was a brutal woman.
Yeah.
I hated her. I love that her nickname is the
The
bitch
bitch.
because it's perfect for
Oh, I may
her.
be confusing it as her aunt. Maybe it was just her mom.
No, I think you're right. It was her mom's friend because Annabelle's mom, Anne Leanne, was
I thought Leanne was the bitch.
I thought it was Isabella Marie
Stella. No, it is
Costello.
Costello.
Yeah, because Leanne was the therapist and
Yeah, okay, that's what it is. So yes, but those two are siblings,
yes, and
and
I
that's
was like
why Isabella, the bitch, wore the different, like, had a disguise, sort of say, and
on
that's why Charlotte never realized that they were actually siblings. Just
sibling
they've been friends forever.
forever, like
She's always been a part
BFF.
of her life, but that's also why, like, Charlotte was put with Hayden.
Where she was. Yeah, because she's essentially a lord. Like she doesn't go
Yeah,
through
that's
what the ladies go through. Like she's essentially a lord. So she's put on this mission, and it is to like find out what's going on about Hayden and the Spade brothers. But like
yeah.
she's also not given much information, and of course she falls in love with him.
Well, yeah, and they're like, well, you have to do this, you have to do that, and then like her whole boyfriend deal, and who
Yeah,
that
so
turned out to
even
be.
before that, when they send her to Hayden as a therapist, because I was like, well, it's funny because there was a tie-in at the end of Carnage about him getting a new therapist.
Yeah,
So that was funny. I love that. But then, yes, to your point, I don't know what you were going to say.
I don't know. A lot's happening. My train of thought's gone.
That's okay.
But like,
Um,
also, there's a lot just going on with
in the book. Oh, you were
in the
talking about the
book.
boyfriend.
Oh yeah, the
Wes
boyfriend, like, and like she's gonna be gone for her hiking in Europe or whatever, backpacking, like her trip in
backpacking.
Europe. And the boy is just like, oh, okay, whatever.
All
Like,
right.
doesn't even bat an eye. And I'm like, but then she comes back, and then he was gonna propose, and then gets all sorts of pissy. I'm like, okay, well, you're a douche, so that's fine and Danny. But then
Until
finding out who
they
he
dropped
truly
who
is,
he really was.
God. And I will say there
Like,
was it was just
it's a
ugh,
lot.
it's a
Like,
lot.
again,
The amount
if
of
you're
times I put
like,
down the book and was like, hold on, hold on, hold on.
and it took me a minute to read because I did have to like literally sit down and be like, wait a minute. Like, who is who here? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? So I had a few of those moments.
I had to scoot up. He dropped
Let me
something
behind the
behind the
chair.
chair.
Let me behind a
He goes,
chair, lady.
bonk.
So yeah, I thought that
Come on,
was
buddy.
super crazy. Just all like the little like tie-ins that they had. Um, and then
I will
like
say, like, Saint was like a real big ass, but at the same time, it was like, okay, well, like after everything they went to, and then he
you got a lot
left,
going
he
on.
had a lot going on. So, like, yeah, he's gonna be a little like emotional. Same with Ashton, and Ashton was just kind of pissing me off on what she was trying to do. Cool. And like what she was trying to do. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Uh,
she seemed real like needy. Like I get like he was there for you in a really tough time, but like girl, it looks weird. Like Charlotte was right. It looks sus. Like
yeah. And like, why didn't Hayden just speak up and be like, yes, I said, she's saying like, I love you or whatever. And he's over here like, yeah, I love you too. But like, not like that.
like
Like, he
that.
had strict boundary of like, that is yours, like you're with
Yes,
Saint. Like,
you're with saying
I love you more like, I'm
a
not going to say a
sibling.
sis. Yeah. But it's
Yeah,
like, it's
like
kind of weird
a
because like, he still
sister-in-law.
was like, yeah,
Mm,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you
Like a
know,
sister-in-law, you know?
yeah, who I fooled around with, like, but it was more like, I just have to protect you because of this. And then, oh my God, Cash, like when Hayden, okay, number one, there's only the one scene with Hayden in his video that really had me tearing up because I was like, that is so freaking sweet. And oh my God, like
That
coming from Hayden.
was that had me like going. I was crying. I was like, that was
Yes.
very emotional. Like not something I would have expected from his character. And like you always see like character development in these books, and like this is like another great example. Um, but I also want to talk about like the smut scenes if we
Mhm.
can. Come on
Yes.
back.
You need to go.
From
You need to
like
go.
the time she walked into
You
his
need to go.
office as the therapist he was like not having it. He was like,
At
"Screw
all.
therapy, nobody's gonna get through to me." So he like makes the most disgusting comments to her about like tying her up and like using every hole and like I don't want to say too much because Killian's around.
And he's
Um,
being a little, but once I'm gonna end up moving here in a little in a second. So, but I can, it's
but
totally fine.
like so, and she was like, because she's still a virgin. Well, wasn't she?
No, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
because
thought so.
because even with being a lord, like she
You're
still cannot
still
do
sacred.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
so
so she's like, "Ooh," and like he's good looking and all this other
and he's
stuff,
hoping
and
that like she just like
just
is
scare
scared
her
away, but
away.
she's like, I gotta go back, dude. And like,
Yeah,
why do I like it? Like,
yeah. Of course, like
but
all these women are like, oh, I don't know. And then yeah, there were a few times within those 60s where I had to Google. I'm like, what is he using on her?
doing to her, yeah. Like, and then I was like, oh, like, oh, he we knew he was a little like rough.
Of course.
Just
Oh, look at that.
but we didn't know that it was like that insane.
Yeah.
Like I like these are like porn for
Oh
me.
yeah.
Like in between the storyline because it's
Yep.
not just no, it's like a bunch is going on and then he's like, "You're in trouble."
Yes. And she's like, uh-oh.
Which whoopsies, like I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to put
Am
myself
I
in
in
trouble.
trouble?
Like what did I do? But there are so many fun scenes and like a lot of like degradation.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
the one where he like recorded her and then like sent her the video afterwards. I was like,
Yeah, and he did that like a few times.
he's like, I want her to see what she looks like. And I'm like, I got pretty good mental image, bro.
It was so
So
funny because like part of these when I was reading it, I would call my mom and like we just talk whatever, and I was like, "Get this."
it's like,
I was like, "Have
listen
you
to
heard of
what
this?"
he
And of
did.
course, my mom is like, "What?" I was like, "So get this. He does this, and then have you heard of a spider gag?" And then like it goes, she's like, "No." So I'm like describing it to her, and she's cracking up.
I'm telling Chris, and he's like,
Yes,
I'm about to marry that crazy ass. I'm over here like, it's hot. And I'm like, the inflatable like anal plugs
yes.
and gags and shit. I'm like, and he
Like
was
to
like,
me, it's like it's hot to read, and then like I think about it, I'm like, I would not like that myself. No,
I
there's
would
like a
not
total
like to
difference
be
in like reading it.
suspended. I'm well,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm a try everything once type of
true,
gal.
true.
Gags fine, but like a full like
With the
spider.
nose, I'm like, I don't think I could do the nose.
And like the way he had her a lot of the time, she was already in pain and like could not move. And like I just it like makes me feel a little like claustrophobic.
Yes, like reading the whole box scene with Hook and everything, like in it was it Carnage? Yeah, it was Carnage. Like
Carnage,
reading that
yeah.
whole scene, I was just like, oh, I'm getting claustrophobic.
Yeah, even though it was like a clear box or
Yeah,
whatever, but like even though like
it's that
when they put it over her
enclosure.
head, I was like, nope, I'm
Mm-mm.
done. I'm done
Yeah.
with it. Um, but they're also like really hot to read because they're so well written, and you're like,
Ugh,
damn. I
yes.
mean, he always says it is not a guide to BDSM. It is not. It is fantasy. Like,
100%.
no man should be just taking you to his house and keeping you locked up there and tied up. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
those are the bookmen. We like them.
Hmm.
We like them a
There is a
lot.
clear, and especially what's going on with TikTok right now, it is like the book communities. There is a clear distinction between reality and fiction. This is
Fiction.
fiction, fantasy. There is a clear line. Now, if you are someone who that is like your kink, cool. I
If
have
yeah, if
nothing
you
against it.
practice
Fine.
BDSM, cool.
But
Like
like
that's fine. But like you know those certain rules that you have being in that community,
community,
right?
yeah.
So I think the issue is that like people think, oh, like they're gonna read these books and just try all this stuff. And it's like, no, 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 no.
No,
I may pull a few things here and there, and I'm
fair
like,
get like ideas, but like
I'm gonna
you have
try that.
consent. You have like You talk with your partner about it.
Partner first. Yeah, it's a conversation. Like my partner, half the shit in these books, he's like, I could never. And
Absolutely
then there
not.
are some
Yeah.
things he's like,
I could
yeah.
try.
Like when we read Lights Out, I was like, will you please put on a mask for me? And he was like, yeah, I can do that. It's like
You're
you
like,
went,
can you chase me?
yeah, and then I was like, will you chase me? And he was like,
Not
I
my
don't
thing.
just up and down the hallway and like a little bit, just like chase me to the
Little,
bedroom. Think about it,
yeah.
So it's like,
But it's those conversations.
yes, and you
The
need
clear
like
distinction.
it's obviously fiction because like they're killing people. It's a secret society. It's like
Yeah.
it's fiction.
Yeah.
So really, really well written fiction, but
Hmm.
it's like porn isn't real either.
Yeah.
Okay, scripted, right? So like it's this to me, it's a similar concept. Like you don't just
Yeah.
watch extreme like bondage porn and then just go out and buy a bunch of ropes and just do it.
They call
Like,
it a day.
no,
Yeah.
you do your research, like educate yourself if that's something you're interested in, have those conversations, like find a community. Like
Yeah.
I'm all about it, but yes, just as like
This is fiction.
it's
Don't just try to get
fiction.
ideas and kidnap a woman and be like, haha, I'm have my way. No, you're gonna
No,
go to jail.
don't go to jail and people will be mad at you and
You
probably
are
take
not a multi-billionaire who can get away with
ah, with links all across the country, probably across the
everything.
world at this point. I mean,
Honestly.
I don't know. But
Now,
I
if I
thought,
could like dive into the book, I would because I know what I would like be expecting. Like
yes,
I know the
like
world I'm going into.
I would know what to expect. I already know what I'm getting into. I would just want to be able to
Hmm.
like choose my role in
Yeah.
one of these books, right?
Yeah.
Um, I definitely would not want to be Ashton. She needs to like
Hell no.
cool it down. I love that they brought the some of the ladies in though from like the Lord series
Yeah.
towards the end again because again, Chantel's over there tying shit together.
Yep.
But we're ready for the next book, Chantel. We're ready. We
And
need
now,
it.
yeah, I'm ready to be blue balled here with your all the
Right.
teases that are going to be heading our way.
So if we rate it, like how many spices out of 5 would you give it?
I feel like this one, ooh, I will say I think I liked Carnage better in spiciness because we had a variety. This one seemed it was more because it's just Hayden, and yes, the other one was like Saint, but it was also
And
Cashmere
Hayden has very specific kinks.
specific. So I would probably give it about a 4. Um,
Interesting. I was gonna
yeah,
say 4.2.
see, yeah, it was
Yeah.
just because of like his specifics,
So
But I do like that Hayden
storyline.
was like such a he's just kind of like so not emotional, but he's just such a like a lover, in his own way. But yeah,
Yes,
but
his own way.
storyline rating, I will say probably a 4.7 because
Yeah,
it
it's up
it
there.
closed out, yeah, it closed out some of the questions I had, but again, it opened up so much more and it's making me excited, so excited for the
Yes.
next book.
Yes. And before we close out, I want to
Mhm.
like mention the tie-in that like I kind of forgot about, but it's so when Hayden like in the beginning of the book, Hayden is like on a mission, right? And they're like on this yacht
Yes,
and he's going to kill this dude, right? And the guy kind of
which
like
was also in Carnage because that was the initiation part.
yes. So like it was he like mentions that he sees this woman in a white dress and like she's stunning or but like he's got shit to do. So like he's
Yeah.
gonna go kill this guy. We end up finding out that that was Charlotte, aka Annabelle, on the yacht that he saw.
Yes.
And the person he killed was William, aka Bill, her stepdad.
No, 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 no. It was her actual father.
Oh, was it her actual
Yeah,
father?
because Bill is still there
Yes,
throughout the entire.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. So it
her
was.
dad is the dead owner of the yacht. I don't know if they give us a name. I keep
They do, but I can't remember it.
my PDF here. I'm like, wait a
Yeah,
second.
they do, but I can't remember.
But yeah, I was like, what? And then when he puts her in a white dress,
Yes, I know. For when they get like all hitched and everything.
I was like, stop it. Like,
Yeah.
it's things like that that I'm like, he is a sweet, gentle soul. He is a
Yes.
sweet, gentle soul.
He's just
Um,
little fucky.
yeah. So I agree with the ratings. I'm ready for the next book.
Yeah.
I hope I don't have to wait too long, but it
Oh
was
God, I know.
great. I
Well,
love
I know
all of
there was setbacks with Madness. She was talking about that.
Okay,
So I'm hoping like this round it'll be a lot easier for her.
probably. I hope so. I hope so
Mhm.
for her because
Yeah.
we love it. We
Oh yeah.
need it.
Love her. Oh my God.
We'll be
Okay.
back. We read quite a few books, and then it's spooky season, so we'll
Yep.
review some movies, but I think we're gonna do Lights Out next because oh my God.
I'm gonna reread it. Okay. Okay. We're
Um,
about to go. So
yep, we will be back. Thank you and
yay! Happy Friday!
bye. Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. If you'd like to see more from us, you can find us on Instagram at the Midnight Babes Podcast and on TikTok at the Midnight Babes. Stay spooky, friends.